This episode of the Still Unnamed podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/TSUP.
Okay, well now I'm getting levels.
Can you hear yourself?
I can hear myself.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. That's all that matters.
You?
Yeah. It's where the money's made. This voice that
sank 1,000 ships.
Mm-hmm. This is a weird setup.
It's different, but
yeah, it is. Okay, here we go.
And now, it's the Still Unnamed Podcast with your hosts, Pete and Mark.
Hey kids, and welcome to episode number 70, bitches, of the Still Unnamed Podcast. I'm Pete Salas along with
Mark. I am the captain now, Rodriguez.
No, you're not.
I am the captain.
You are not the captain. You righted the ship like as we were going off course, but now the real captain has come back from the shit break that he took, and he's ready to take the wheel back.
Fucking dodged that iceberg.
Yeah, you did. Hey man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
How long has it been? Have you calculated? I was thinking about it, but I never actually looked at a calendar.
God, like 2 months?
It's been like 2 months. You know when it was? It was like right after June 22nd, because it was like our Father's Day episode.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, man, that was a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were on summer break. People take summer break.
Right. Get off our fucking nuts.
Ellen takes a summer break.
Why'd you go direct to Ellen?
What do you mean?
You could have said SNL takes a summer break.
Ellen is my go-to.
Ellen is always your go-to. It's just, I mean, Ellen's like a girl show, dude.
It's not a girl show. It's a people show for people.
Hashtag we love Ellen.
Because we're running reruns of the past season of Ellen.
Because you work at a TV station.
I work at a TV
that airs Ellen.
Yes.
I get it. So that's your go-to.
Yeah.
Still, I would have gone SNL or something like that.
Then you're dumb.
One of
That's
the
why I'm
million other TV shows. Anyway, yeah, our last one was the Father's Day episode. It was a long time ago. Anyway, moving forward. We are not in the TSUP network studios today.
Nope.
We are recording live.
Pew pew.
From the same place you recorded the last one, which incidentally, before we go any further, let me just throw that out there. You and my sister, who are married.
Yes.
You guys recorded a podcast, because you just got tired of dead air, basically. And I get that. I like that. But that's why I labeled it 69.5, because I'll be damned if anybody takes episode 70 away from me. This is a milestone mark.
Is it 70?
Well, it's
a lot of people die in 70.
It's a nice round number. But anyway, so you guys did pretty good. That must have been fun, right? There's shooting an entire podcast.
Is it shooting?
Well,
recording,
taping, whatever. An entire podcast.
I think I did shitty at the intro and the outro because I'm really shitty at that.
but once you got rolling, I mean, it was.
It's because the kids were asleep. Like we just put them down, and then we waited like a good 10-15 minutes to make sure they were not getting up.
Right.
And then I was like, hey kids, welcome to the Still Unnamed Podcast. This is welcome to Public Podcast Network.
I get it. No, it came out pretty good. So actually, I'm lazy, so I did not collect the equipment back and take it back to the studio. I'm recording here in the same place, which is your bedroom.
Yeah,
it's a little strange to be sitting in here.
There's a lot of music made here.
Don't finish that sentence. Don't finish that sentence.
Why not put up a studio?
Oh my God, that's terrible. But yeah, I mean, that was fun. That was a good way to dip our toe back into the podcasting water.
Yeah, you can't just dive in.
Right.
You ruin your brain that way.
Exactly. Especially if you just ate. You're not supposed to swim right after you eat, right?
You get cramps.
Is that like an old wives' tale?
I think it's not true.
It's not true, right?
No.
Okay.
Speaking of not true and in the water, did you hear the story of that guy from the Olympics?
What guy?
He's got the white hair. I don't know what his name
like
is.
he got detained or something
He
like
got
that, right?
busted for lying.
Why?
being a
What was he
fucking
lying
liar.
about?
Well,
Tell me the story, Mark.
here's what he claimed. He claimed that he and his fellow swimmers had gotten robbed at gunpoint. That a car pulled up,
Okay.
and this is at where the Olympics are being held in Brazil.
Right.
And he said that somebody pulled up. And they had fake police badges, and they were like, "Hey, put your hands up." They were showing the badges. They were like, "Put your hands in the air." And he's like, "We didn't do anything wrong. I'm not gonna put up my hands in the air.
Right.
This is America." Well, South
So he
America.
thought.
And then they put a gun in his face, and then he was like, "Okay, I'll put my hands in the
That's
air."
a harrowing tale.
And he got robbed.
Wow.
As it turns
What
out,
kind of a world do we live in where a God-fearing American Olympian cannot walk the
a
streets
gold
of
medal winner?
a
For all
fucking gold
accounts,
medal winner?
probably.
Like, did they steal his gold medal? Were they looking for the gold medal?
They were probably. If that
What
was,
kind of a world do we live in, Mark, where a good, God-fearing, gold medal-winning American cannot walk the streets of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil,
Rio de Jabroni.
without getting robbed by the locals?
The thing is, he made it up.
What?
None of that actually happened.
Okay. Why would he make this up?
I don't know.
Why would a good, God-fearing American gold medal-winning Olympian make this up?
I don't know the details. But the details are this:
Okay.
he and his fellow swimmers,
Right.
were walking around the streets of Rio de Janeiro, and then I think they needed to use the bathroom, and
Okay.
they went to a corner store.
Right.
They didn't have the key, so they kicked the door down.
Okay.
And security was pissed at them because I guess there's a security at the convenience store.
What? Wait a minute. Why would he need a key? The key's hanging around his neck. It's a fucking gold medal. That gets you into anywhere, anytime, anything you want.
Maybe he didn't win the gold medal at this point.
Oh, okay.
He kicked, or might have been one of the other persons that kicked the door in, and they probably did their business, and then they were like being hoodlums essentially. And the security's like, "Hey, stop being hoodlums!" And of course, because they reported that incident, there were people. The cops were using resources, and they were like, "We got to figure out what happened."
Right.
And as it turns out, he lied. So
But I don't understand, like, why he would lie about getting robbed if he was, kicking in a door. Why didn't he just say, "Hey, some guys ran by and kicked in this door"?
because there's footage, there's video camera footage.
Okay, but then how did the making up the lie about getting robbed would even help him? Like, how? What was his plan on using that?
I don't know.
To get
He
out
was
of?
probably like, "Fuck it." He's like, "I'm fucking American,
Right.
And I'm fucking in baby America, the ass of South America."
Oh, hot topic.
Yeah. Zika's running rampant.
Yeah, it is. Green water.
Yeah. Ugh, that's gross.
It's terrible.
What a shitty Olympics.
Well, that's yeah. Well, I mean, hey, man, did he come home? Is he home?
Yeah, he came home real quick, and then like two of his buddies were detained.
Yeah, I had heard something about his passport was taken away, but
They're like, "No te crees, Raúl."
don't they speak Portuguese over there?
That's Spanish, isn't it?
It's kind of. I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, no, I don't know what it was. We're kidding a little bit by saying that we're taking a summer break, but for me, dude, like I was just getting burnt the fuck out with, like, not even just so much with the show, not even with like talking to you. It was like the world in general.
Yeah.
Like, there was just too much bad shit happening.
There was a lot going on during our little
There
summer
is,
break.
and it leading up to the hiatus, I guess, it was just bad story after bad story, and people getting shot and cops getting.
Oh yeah, I thought you were
sniped.
talking about our real life.
No.
I was like, yeah, dude, it was real hectic.
No, I'm talking
I
about
had a summer camp.
I'm talking about the world.
Oh yeah, the world is
like
terrible.
the world. Like I didn't feel like
I cried.
I didn't. You did. You cried on the microphones, which was a touching moment. But like that's what I'm saying. Like we did that. We mentioned it. We talked about it. Okay, moving on. And it's not to say that like that was going to change the world by any stretch of the imagination, but still, like I didn't think it was going to be like the next fucking week. Like someone was going to get, you know, shot, like another black kid getting shot by a cop, or like
so bad.
The week after that, like, oh, let me just hijack a truck and run over 800 fucking people or whatever in Paris. Again, Paris.
I know.
And then like
boom, boom, boom.
Exactly, boom, boom, boom. Someone sniping cops in Dallas. It's like, what the fuck is happening here, man? It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Needless to say, the last thing on my mind was to get behind these microphones and try to be yuck yuck and Mr. Happy, jolly, happy, happy, joy, joy. So, you know, but hey, if we let them win, the terrorists win, something like that?
If we let the terrorists win, then the terrorists win.
Well said, Mark.
Man, put that shit on a t-shirt.
But yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling, was like, you know, I didn't feel like being too happy, and so I let a couple weeks go by, and
just a couple,
you know, and then I heard y'all's podcast from last week, and I was like, you know what, I missed this. Let's try this again.
It is fun. It relit the fire.
Right. So, in honor of us coming back and kind of like rejuvenating that vagina. I don't know what else to say. Just what else gets rejuvenated?
I don't know. Vaginas.
Vaginas, right? Like
that's the thing that you rejuvenate.
Yeah.
Skin?
I guess. So let's go back to a topic that we haven't talked about in a while, but it used to be running rampant in the earlier episodes. Dicks and porn. Yes. Pornography. So, my question to you, Mark, and I don't know if we've talked about this or not, so again, forgive me. Fuck it. Let's do it again. Can you think back to the first naked lady that you saw that made you feel feelings?
Yes.
Okay. What was it?
We got some thunder.
I know, that's cool.
What was it that ruined your precious little mind?
Right.
The movie was called Idle Hands.
Idle Hands?
Idle Hands. Do you remember that film?
I do. That's with Jessica Alba, isn't it?
Yeah, with Jessica Alba.
But
and
she wasn't naked in that movie.
No, she wasn't naked in that movie. But there was a scene like towards the end where there was this girl and this guy making out in a car. And then the hand kind of like climbs into the car and I think tries to murder them. But anyways, in the makeout section, she lifts her shirt and she takes off her shirt and you see some nice chi-chis. Some boobies. Some
good boobage. Okay.
And I remember seeing it, and at this point I had always covered my eyes at boobies, even though my parents weren't here. It was like a trust thing. I was like, they trust me to cover my eyes.
You were covering your eyes.
I was
out of respect.
Out of respect, or not? Okay. I was looking away. I wasn't like, oh, boobies.
Real quick, how old were you in 1999? Because I can
12.
Okay.
And I was watching it on TV, so it had to have done its theater run and then gotten on TV. So I was maybe 13.
Wow, you were a good kid.
I was a fucking good kid, dude. I didn't start cussing until I was in high school.
Yes.
Maybe senior year.
So Idle Hands came out in 99. Anyway, go on.
Anyways, I was...
That late in life, huh?
Well, I mean, I had watched like because I'm a horror movie. I was brought up with horror movies, and like the Jason, there's a lot of chi-chis hanging out, but I would cover my eyes.
Right.
I would see him. I would see the nips for a little bit. I was like, oh, gotta cover my eyes. So I'd cover my eyes. This time I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna look at these chi-chis. And baby brother was like, hey, he's nudging me with his elbow. Aren't you gonna cover your eyes? And I was like, hey, bro, they're just like guy chi-chis. They're just bigger. I'm like, what's the big deal? And he was like, you know what? You're right. I'm like, what's the big deal? I kid you not, Pete. The next time, like, we went to church.
Okay.
They were talking about pornography.
No way.
I don't know how it happens. If you ever go to church, it's crazy. This is the kind, like, every time you go to church, the the topic is, I don't know how the church does it. It's usually centered about something that's going on in your life. And they're like, yeah, you shouldn't be looking at that stuff because it's a sin and you have lust in your heart and that's wrong. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that. But I couldn't stop.
So it was just off to the races from that
Once
point.
bitten, twice shy.
Man, okay. Wow, I'm trying to think back. Like, fuck, dude, I guess mine was really early in life. Like,
That you were like, I'm going to look at these chichis.
and appreciate them, appreciate the female form.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, it was... I don't know exactly how old I was, but the movie was National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh.
And the chichis in question were Beverly D'Angelo's.
Damn.
I fell in love with her. So if that movie came out in like 83, something like that,
You were born in 82?
Yes, I wasn't one, so I must have been watching that movie on VHS. I'm gonna say when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Let's just say. And I remember like seeing her there, it's towards the beginning of the film. She's taking a shower and Chevy Chase rips the curtain open and he's like, heat, heat, heat,
Yeah.
pretending to be Psycho. But there's like a good 2 to 3 seconds of her topless staring at him. Like,
Yeah.
And dude,
Yeah, there is.
I fell in love. And I think I still have feelings for Beverly D'Angelo. I'm not going to lie.
What's going on there? I love it and I appreciate it.
I don't care. She's probably like 65 now.
She's probably still got it going on.
Man, I'm sure she does.
Man, there's some sexy grandmas.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, there are.
Let's not get into that topic, though.
No, that's kind of a little too weird even for us. So what about like magazines? Did you because just real quick, Jamie was telling me this story that there was like a not even a park. It was kind of like an abandoned, not even abandoned. It was like a piece of lot that was for sale.
Got it.
Okay. But there was a tree house built on one of the trees in there.
Okay.
And
where is this?
It's not there. It's from when she was a kid.
No, but in the valley?
Yeah, it was in McAllen.
We have tree houses?
There was a tree house somewhere here locally back in like the late
Crazy.
80s.
You can build a tree house on mesquite?
Well, I guess so. But the point being is like that was like the porn stash drop-off zone, like what you hear about in the movies.
Yeah.
Someone was actually leaving porno mags at this treehouse, like so that the kids, adults, teens, whatever, who knew about this,
It was on the honor system.
this beautiful secret would go and like trade them out, like just always keep it stocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never
Take a
had
penny,
that.
leave a penny.
Exactly. But it wasn't. I mean, there weren't tapes. It was mostly just a stack of nudie mags.
Yeah.
But my question to you is like, how prominent were nudie mags in the, building the perv that you are today?
Okay. First time I saw a nudie mag, I was in the summer going from 8th grade to freshman year. Mm-hmm. And I was in San Marcos for a college thing. There's like a 2-week college thing that was going on.
Okay.
And I was with kids from all around the state. And there was this one kid who brought a nudie mag. And we're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he showed it to me. And he's like, hey, you want to check this out? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Right.
So I was flipping through the pages. And I'm like, you know what? These females are... It was like a Playboy. Like... The go-to, this is a nudie mag. It was a Playboy.
Okay.
And I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I got older and I discovered my... I don't know if I should throw him under the bus.
Do it.
My stepfather hasn't he doesn't have them anymore. I looked.
Yes.
He had nudie mags.
Uh-huh.
In his bathroom.
Okay.
And these were like not Playboy. They were full on penetration.
More like Hustler?
Yeah, like Hustler. I mean, it wasn't fucking raunchy.
I mean, it wasn't that like the weird shit you can't get through the mail, right?
It was in German. There was people shitting all over the place.
All right.
But yeah, and I was like, this is really cool.
How old were you there?
I don't know, maybe sophomore.
Okay.
or junior.
Wow, everything is later in life for you, like as far
Oh
as...
yeah, absolutely.
Wow, okay. Man,
I didn't learn-
you were a good kid. I mean, I thought I was a relatively good kid, but I guess not.
No,
like,
I'm the exception to every rule.
well, see, my parents, like, one of the things about my parents was, like, they would take me to, like, all the adult parties that they would go to.
Yeah.
And I was often, given a room, just put in a room with the
Yeah.
coats and, like, the TV,
Mm-hmm.
So, me being a child, I would go through people's shit. as we all do.
Yeah.
So I remember specifically some friends of my parents. They in their bathroom, in their master bathroom, I guess that was connected to their bedroom. They had a stack of nudie books this high. I mean, you can't see, but they basically sat on the back of the toilet. Was like a stack of like Reader's Digest and like some Playboy Penthouses, Hustlers, stuff like that. And probably not Hustler. I guess it was more classier. It was Playboy and Penthouse.
Just appreciating the female form.
I still remember the earliest memory I have associated to a nudie book was I can't remember if it was Penthouse or Playboy.
Coloring book.
But no, it was LaToya Jackson.
Really?
Yes, Michael Jackson's older sister. And it was very strange, like she was doing like a topless pictorial.
Yeah.
And I still remember this, dude. Like the name of the article, you know how they would like caption it?
Yeah.
It was called "Shh, Don't Tell Michael." And I fucking remember this vividly, dude.
Wow.
Like, because I don't think at that point, not to sound racist, I don't think I'd ever seen like a black woman naked before.
Well, I mean, why would you?
Right. I mean, they weren't like walking around my house. Neither were, any other. I mean, I didn't live in the Playboy Mansion, but
they didn't allow black women.
But yeah, I remember specifically, sitting on the toilet and I must have been again 8. Maybe 7 or 8.
Really?
Yeah, and I was flipping through the pages of this magazine, and I remember most of like the Playboys being like articles. Like I was looking actively seeking titties. Yeah. Turning the pages real fast, and then the little cartoons that I didn't understand, but they were naked little cartoon people. Yeah. And then I got to the middle, and it was like a spread of LaToya Jackson, and it was called "Shh, Don't Tell Michael."
Wow, and then I guess it was an article also attached to it.
I guess, I don't know.
Didn't want to read it.
Who the fuck? I was 7. I wasn't reading shit. I was just looking at boobies. But yeah, so my love for the females started really, really early.
How could you think you were a good boy then?
Because I always obeyed my parents and what they said, and I didn't throw tantrums and fits.
Well, I mean, that does just because you look at chi-chis doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad child.
No, I know that. I'm just saying it doesn't fit the rest of my
I see
demeanor.
what you're saying.
I didn't.
You would listen, and that you knew it was wrong, but you still did it anyway.
Right. And that was the one thing. They told me don't do that, I wouldn't do it. Don't touch that, I wouldn't do it. You can't go past this house, I wouldn't go past this house. Yeah. But it was boobies, yes, please.
Yes, every time.
I will break any law to get my hands on pictures of them. So, I mean, yeah.
This episode's going to get me in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'm sure, but that's okay.
Okay, so. Can I sleep at your house on Taco Tuesday?
Yes. Oh, shit. Take us in another direction.
Okay. My favorite pair of tits. No. I don't know. Let me bring up the conversation app.
Can you do that while you're recording here?
Oh, yeah.
Which, FYI, people, if you're listening to this, I hope you got this because we're recording on a new system here. Mark has figured out how to record directly to his phone, but he's also fucking around on the internet on his phone at the same time, and I don't trust that. But hey, he's the technical guru here, so.
Have you ever been in a band?
Yeah, well, not a real band. we didn't really go on tour and shit, but like I've jammed with some real musicians while I pretended to beat on the drums, like I knew a thing or two.
Like a gorilla?
Yeah, like George of the Jungle. Exactly. That my friend my friend Boy is what I mean, that's his nickname.
Real quick, I'm gonna sound real offensive. Was he black?
He was very, very dark skinned. Extremely dark skinned, and that I think is why he got that nickname Boy. I really do. Yeah. His real name was George. Well, that's why it was, because Boy George. That's why they call him that. But yeah, he was really black too. He wasn't really black.
I made your memories
He was
racist.
Hispanic, but he was a very dark skinned person.
Oh yeah, we get some dark skinned.
Yeah,
Mexicans.
I mean, my version of that growing up, his name was Gabriel, but we all called him Toasty because he was burnt to a crisp because he was really dark.
I had a cousin that was really dark, and we used to make fun of him and say that he got burnt in his mother's oven. Because, you got a bun in the oven.
Right.
He got burnt.
Yeah, toasted, exactly. So yeah, I used to jam with him once in a while. He was a fantastic guitar player. I think he's still playing like up in San Antonio, Austin area.
Just you two, or?
Yeah, it was just he would he'd come over.
He's like, hey, give me a beat real quick.
Yeah, like we'd play like Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson and shit like that. Like he'd start the and then I'd doom 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 doom, and then we just start going. Or mostly Marilyn Manson type stuff, because I remember playing The Beautiful People, and he was really big into Pantera.
Okay.
So, he'd start like, and I'd come in with the.
Those are pretty like drum heavy.
It's, I mean, again, by no means am I a professional. In fact, I would probably get laughed off of a real stage, but I have jammed in the past with
cool.
With a real musician, and that was fun.
I was in high school band. Does that count?
Well, you and your, what was it, trombone?
Yeah.
I
was in the jazz band in high school.
It's funny, like, I almost feel like blasphemous talking about wrestling without Quentin, but there's a wrestler that reminds me of you because he comes out to the ring with a trombone.
What?
Yeah, like it's hard to explain. His name's Xavier Woods.
Does he play his own entrance music?
Well, kind of, because it's like a 3-man group, and they're like constantly saying like New Day Rocks, New Day Rocks. Their name's the New Day. Anyway, but while they're doing that, he's and like they've got him mic'd, like they got a wireless mic on his trombone, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so it reminds me of you.
Man, I wish I could just bust out the old trombone. I learned all about the trombones. There was one with a trigger on the thumb.
But that was for the spit, wasn't it?
No, that's on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But on your thumb in your left hand, you can push the trigger.
Okay.
And that would make it go through a series of your air would go through a series of valves.
Okay.
To make so you didn't have to extend your arm, essentially.
Okay. Right.
So if you had to go play a C, for example, that's on position 6, you had to extend your arm all the way, or you can stay in first position and just press the trigger. So that saves you some time.
Okay. That seems like for someone who's classically trained, it'd be a little bit of a learning curve. I mean, not quite like the drummer from Def Leppard losing an arm and having to like relearn a whole new system of drum playing, but still.
Good on him though.
Yeah. Can you imagine that shit?
No, I can't.
Having 2 arms, your instrument requires 2 arms, 2 legs. All of a sudden you're down 1/4 of your arsenal.
Yeah.
And having to like create a whole new drum system.
He fucking nailed it.
Yeah, he did. God bless, what's his name from Def Leppard? Sorry, I do not know his name. My sister would probably know. She's a big Def Leppard fan.
Is there a food, no matter how much you ate of it, you could never grow sick of?
Chinese food.
Oh yeah, dude, you're a fan. You love Chinese food.
I love fucking Chinese food.
Can you remember the first time you had Chinese food?
You know what? I've thought about it because I've had this conversation with Jamie before, and it's. I know that it was Golden Dragon in McAllen, because I remember going with my mom, but I don't remember how old I was.
Yeah.
The funny thing is I remember having a conversation with her about Eric Carr, speaking of drummers, Eric Carr, the drummer for Kiss, the second drummer for Kiss after Peter Criss, the Catman, went away. They hired Eric Carr. He came in as the Fox Man. Anyway, he died of cancer.
Oh, no.
And on that day, I remember hearing about it, and I was talking to my mom about it, like that Eric Carr from Kiss had died. And I must have been, what year was that? I guess that's a simple Google search away to find out when that was. I'm not saying that was my first Chinese food experience, but...
it was your most memorable.
Yes, or at least my earliest. Eric Carr, he died in 1991.
Wow, that was early.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's...
So what happened? Like you were talking to your mom and you were eating Chinese food? That's the end of the story?
Well, I mean, you asked me if I can remember my earliest or my first one.
Did you remember going like, God, this is fucking delicious? Would you actively ask like, hey, Pete, where do you want to go? And like other kids would be like, oh, I want to go to McDonald's. I want chicken nuggets. You'd be like,
I want to go to Golden
Give me
Dragon.
some fucking General Chow up in this bitch.
Put the chow in my mouth. Yeah, exactly.
Mom, I could really use some orange chicken.
I used to love egg rolls a lot. Like, those egg rolls were fantastic. And I'll bet you if you asked my sister, she would say the same thing, because those are some bomb-ass egg rolls.
Your family loves the Chinese food.
Yes, we do.
I never had Chinese food until I left home.
and you met my sister.
She opened my palate to many things. Not in a sexual way.
Oh, Jesus Christ,
I
Mark.
said not.
So I'm getting married, Mark.
Congratulations, Pete. How's that coming along?
It's good. It's good. It's things are moving really fast, and I know that sounds like a bad thing for me to say, but no, it's not how I mean it. It's just things are going good. We've booked our photographer, and we've created our hashtag. Apparently, you're supposed to create hashtags nowadays to help promote it or something. I don't know. I'm.
What is it? Like,
she's handling everything, and I'm just I'm
all
supporting.
you're supposed to do is open your wallet.
Moral support. But
what's the hashtag? Can I get any deets?
I don't know. Probably shouldn't have brought up this topic if I didn't have any information to give. We've booked the photographer. He is apparently the best photographer in the valley.
Next to me.
Next to you, of course.
Did you happen to see my photos on Photography Day?
What the hell are you talking about? What Photography Day?
I want to say on Friday was World Photography Day.
Okay.
And
yes, so the black and whites of Dexter
and I was like,
doing shit.
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take fucking black and white pictures all fucking day.
Okay.
And I did it, and I was like, you know what? I had fun. Some of them came out pretty good.
I like the one by the blinds, by the window.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Dexter was looking out. I was like, fucking, that's the one. That's right now.
But yeah, no, marriage, man. It's coming at me, and I'm excited. I'm excited to take that step to, make it official and all that. So that's pretty cool.
As a veteran marriage, I don't really think it changed our relationship much. I don't know if it'll be different for you, but I've heard it described as dating plus.
Well, I mean, no, I wouldn't say your relationship. I mean, you were already living together.
Yeah.
Right? So it's nothing really does change, and things you guys grow together and you make more decisions together, right? I would assume.
Yeah.
Or
we still have separate bank accounts.
She still hasn't taken your last name.
She still hasn't taken, but I don't care. Like we're so chill. I think that's really good for the both of us. Like we both just kind of roll with the punches and take it as it comes. And we're both pretty mature. Like, our arguments never get to, like, knock on wood, never get to screaming. Like,
okay.
We haven't had a really loud argument since probably before Harley was born.
Okay.
But
that's good.
Yeah, because
that's always a plus. I mean, if you can resolve issues without it getting ugly, then that's always a plus.
We pretty much, because we know each other, and like, it'll piss me off sometimes, but she knows that I need space when I get upset. and she'll leave me alone, and I'll be like, she's not even talking to me right now. I can't believe she just left me alone, and I'm just steaming in my head, and then I'm like, okay, get over it. You know she's just giving you space. Yeah, but why doesn't she talk to me? She never talks. She's not talking to you because you're acting like a bitch right now.
So you're having a genuine like Smeagol and what's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Argument.
Yeah.
What's the other Smeagol and
Smaug.
No. What is his name?
His
Gollum.
Gollum, yeah.
Sorry. Yes, Smeagol and Gollum. That's you.
Oh yeah, you don't have internal battles.
I do, but I don't know if I vocalize them.
Well, no, I'm not talking out loud.
I thought you were talking to a mirror or something.
No. Yeah, I fucking psyched myself up. That's what I was doing before the podcast. I was like, who's the best fucking sidekick? You are. You got this. Do you got a nickname? No. Do you need one? No. But you're going to get one. Yeah.
Sure dat. So anyway, I think this is a good place to stop. So you want to hit the music?
Yeah, let me just go ahead and press this button right here.
There it is. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for coming back to us. I know we've left you all for a while, but it was good to be back. It's fun to be back. Not gonna lie, not gonna promise one next week. That would be a lot of pressure for me, but it was fun, and I truly enjoyed being back. So thank you, Mark, for inviting me back into the house to do this and knock this one out. Special thanks to our sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds. And on behalf of myself, I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark. I am the captain now, Rodriguez.
Wishing you all a very, very happy Taco Tuesday. Bye-bye.